Day, August 31st. It's 1:30 p.m. and we got some huge news today. And it's one of those days where it's like, bam, and it's exciting. And a lot of things have been happening every day. We have a huge announcement come out. And it seems like the U.S. has been officially activated because the past three huge announcements have been directly from the USA. And we're going to dive into that today. So this is the newsletter. And we're going to start off with XRP, and just it's really like every rock that you turn over, XRP, Ripple, they're right behind it. So you have all these players, but these players are utilizing Ripple software, which utilizes XRP. So XRP is the greatest investment opportunity of all time. It really is. I strongly believe it, because you have a market cap here of $16 billion. So $16 billion market cap. And if we look at all the world's money and markets in one visualization, you have silver being the smallest, 43.9 billion, but you have XRP right here, 16 billion. So XRP compared to silver, is smaller as far as money that's in it. But cryptocurrency in general, you have 244 billion, but actually today it is sitting around 1 trillion. So this is a old kind of article or visualization. This is back in 2020. So you can only imagine how much bigger the money in this diagram that I'm going to show you is now. So especially with all the printing. So we see 16 billion, and then we have 1 trillion in cryptocurrency. Military spending, doesn't say, but you have 3.8 trillion US budget deficit. Coins and banknotes, 6.6 trillion. Fed's balance sheet, 7 trillion, probably more now. Then you have billionaires, 8 trillion, gold, 10.9 trillion, the Fortune 500. You have like the biggest companies here. The big five is 24%, and that's like around 1.3, 2.6, 3.8, 4.8, around like $5 trillion just in the top five of the Fortune 500. And then you have the stock markets. You have $89.5 trillion. Then money supply, $35.2 trillion. And then global debt, $253 trillion. Then you go down to global real estate, $280.6 trillion. And then we go down to global wealth. You have $360.6 trillion. And then we get to the big kahuna. Well, first of all, numbers of millionaires in the world, I think it is 63.8 trillion. And then you have derivatives, the big kahuna, and that is sitting around $1 quadrillion. $1 quadrillion. So look at all those blocks, and each block is, I think, is the equivalent of like 100 billion. So all those blocks you have, and that's all the money, all the other world's money and markets in one visualization. So if you're looking at XRP, it has 16 billion market cap, and you have over quadrillion, like multiple quadrillions of dollars, just all a part of the world's money and markets. And then you have the concept of XRP is building this new kind of way of moving value like this. So like tokenizing real estate, you have over $100 trillion that can be tokenized as far as the real estate market, put on a blockchain, and it can be transferred, that value, and it makes real estate liquid, easy to get in and out of. So there's a ton of potential, ton of money in the world, and all of that is being lined up to be flowed through XRP. Because first off, we have the DTCC, right? We heard that news the other day. It was August 22nd. So it's like 8 days ago. So DTC's Project Ion platform now live in parallel production environment, processing over 100,000 transactions per day on DLT. So Project Ion represents one of the largest DLT initiatives in equity settlement across the financial service industry. So the DTCC, they're responsible in the trade and settlement of like assets on the stock market. So you can see that in 2021, the DTCC's subsidiaries processed securities transactions valued at nearly $2.4 quadrillion. So when you go to all the world's money and visualization, you can see like they're the ones that process and do the settlement of these derivatives, which is a ton of money. And they partnered with R3, so they selected R3's Corda as the underlying distributed ledger technology for this new parallel alternative settlement mechanism, so alternative settlement platform, leveraging DLT. So we know that R3 is partnered with Ripple, and their Corda settler application, which the DTC is using for their Project Ion, has XRP as the settlement mechanism within it. So R3 launches Universal Settler application to facilitate global payments on Corda. XRP, the first settlement mechanism, Corda settler built to ensure seamless settlement of payments on Corda across any payment scheme. This is back in 2018, so this has been lined up for a while now. But it takes, all the puzzle pieces to come together to see the actual what's unfolding. And that's what I'm here to do. So we have this connection with DTCC to R3, which utilizes XRP. Then we have, today, huge news, the Digital Dollar Project launches technical sandbox program to explore a central bank digital currency infrastructure solutions featuring Ripple. Bam. Coming out, and now it's public. So launching technology sandbox program, the Digital Dollar Project is thrilled to launch a technical sandbox program, an offering for DDP participants to identify and test specific CBDC use case hypotheses and answer critical questions about the impact of a potential US digital dollar with real world data. So Ripple right there. Nox, I'm going to do a deep dive and see if I can find who's involved with that. Then we have Digital Asset, heavy Stellar Lumens ties. Then we have MTech, which utilizes HBAR. In the last video I think I did yesterday, we had said that MTech is talking a lot, being with the digital dollar at the Green CBDC conference. And we speculated that HBAR might be involved, and now we have the confirmation. MTech's involved, Ripple's involved, and Digital Asset and Nox, Stellar heavily tied up with that. But I'll do a deep dive on these. But we know HBAR confirmed, Ripple and XRP confirmed. So let's go into the actual article. So new program will explore technical and business implementation questions with the help of initial participants, Digital Asset, MTech, Nox Networks, and Ripple. So today, the Digital Dollar Project announced today the launch of its technical sandbox program to jumpstart further exploration of technical implementations of a U.S. central bank digital currency. The program is slated to begin in early October with the inaugural cohort focus on cross-border payments. The program will serve as a collaborative space for the DDP participants and financial service providers, offering a neutral environment for the evaluation of technological, business, and policy approaches to CBDCs. Program participants will examine real-world technology, explore potential implications to business strategies and operations, and experiment to uncover possible use case-specific solutions. The launch of our technical sandbox program marks the next step in our effort to convene the private and public sector in exploration of a central bank digital currency in the U.S. We understand how important it is to include a diverse set of views and expertise as we look to answer key questions about how the technology could work, the problems we hope to solve, and the ultimate business and individual outcomes we want to achieve. The marriage of these sectors and our collaboration is essential and will lay the foundation for robust pilots that improve the outcomes and usability of CBDCs. Each cohort of the DDP Technical Sandbox program will consist of two phases, an education phase and a pilot phase. Through the education phase of the Technical Sandbox program, the DDP partners and participants will develop a business and functional understanding of the technology and evaluate the differences in possible design choices. During the pilot phase, the DDP partners and participants will identify and test specific CBDC use case hypotheses with the aim of gathering data on business level impacts. The results gathered will be broadly shared and used to inform both private and public sector stakeholders on how advancing technical solutions can unlock business value in a transformative way. The Digital Dollar Project is excited to bring a broad array of industries and technical experts together to define desired outcomes and explore a wide range of technical design choices in relation to a US CBDC. The results of which will focus on answering critical questions around the impact of a potential US digital dollar. Our technical sandbox programs offer the perfect environment to test CBDC hypothesis in a neutral setting with real-world problems for consideration. The DDP is committed to providing the federal government, policymakers, and private sector organizations with a stronger, clearer picture of what implementing a CBDC in the U.S. would look like, and to answering important questions of what a rollout might entail across retail, wholesale, and international use cases. For more information on Digital Dollar Project, you can visit it. But the Digital Dollar Project, a nonprofit organization, it was created to encourage research and public discussion on the potential advantages and challenges of a US CBDC or a digital dollar. The DDP will identify options for a CBDC solution to help enhance monetary policy effectiveness and financial stability, provide needed scalability, security, and privacy in retail, wholesale, and international payments, and integrate with existing financial infrastructures, including U.S. Federal Reserve related projects. Bam, right there, tied up with them. So now we have that connection. And then yesterday, I believe it was, let me go to it. Let's see. So the FedNow 2022 launch date. So now we had where is it? Here we go. So the Fed to launch its FedNow instant payment service by July 2023. So at a time when cryptocurrency payments are experiencing an uptick in adoption, as evidenced by Iran approving the use of cryptos to pay for imports, the U.S. Federal Reserve has announced that its FedNow instant settlement service will officially launch by July 2023. The revelation from the central bank came during a speech by Vice Chair Lael Brainard on Monday, in which the Fed representative indicated that the technical testing phase of the FedNow service will kick off in mid-September of this year. According to a press release from the Fed, over 120 organizations have already signed up to participate in the pilot program, with the most recent additions including U.S. Bank, Exchange Bank, and several payment processors and solution providers, including Alacrity Payments, Form3, and ModusBox. FedNow is designed to be an instant payment service that is available across the U.S. and accessible 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The service will be accessible to financial institutions of any size, which will help to broaden the reach of instant payments to communities nationwide. The government plans to roll out the service in phases, with the first phase focusing on clearing and settlement. The FedNow service will transform the way everyday payments are made throughout the economy, bringing substantial gains to households and businesses through the ability to send instant payments at any time on any day, and the funds being immediately available to recipients to make other payments or manage cash flow efficiently. The Fed Vice Chair further stressed the importance of having funds be immediately available, noting that the capacity to manage money in real time could help households avoid costly late payment fees or free up working capital for small businesses to finance growth. In order to take part of the FedNow pilot program, participants will be required to complete a certification process to ensure operational and messaging readiness, and then move into production once the service is launched. Once the pilot program moves into the testing phase, the Federal Reserve will begin engaging with non-pilot financial institutions and service providers who want to be early adopters of the service. After extensive industry engagement and planning, the Fed Reserve is on track to deliver the FedNow service by May to July of 2023. Overall, the service is expected to benefit both consumers and businesses. The benefits of instant payments are increasingly important to consumers and businesses, and the ability to provide the service will be critical for financial institutions to remain competitive. Next year, financial institutions will be able to use the FedNow service as a springboard to provide innovative solutions to their customers. Bam, there we go. So now we had that news come out. And who's helping build, or the FedNow, payment service, right? So Volante. Volante is like kind of, let's see. It's just like a payments processor, next generation payment processor, pure software as a service for banking and like institutions. So solutions for everyday challenges, payments as a service, real-time instant payments, cross-border payments, corporate-to-bank automation, ISO migration. So they're heavily tied up with leading global provider of they're a leading global provider of cloud payments and financial messaging solutions to accelerate digital transformation. We serve as a trusted partner to over 125 banks, financial institutions, market structures, clearinghouses, corporate treasuries in 35 countries. So our solutions and services process millions of transactions and trillions in value every day, powering 4 of the top 5 corporate banks, 40% of all U.S. commercial bank deposits, and 70% of worldwide card traffic. Powerhouse. And they're in charge with doing the FedNow program. And FedNow will be here soon. The Federal Reserve's new service will enable individuals, businesses to send and receive account-to-account instant payments 24/7, 365. Will be available to all depository institutions in the U.S. by 2023. So who are they tied up with, right? We already know. Who it is. It's Ripple. So cross-border payments right here. VolPay, cross-border payments, Swift GPI, Ripple, Visa B2B, Visa Direct, and more. So banks must improve their cross-border services. Next-generation cross-border mechanisms, Swift GPI, Ripple, Blank, and others are rapidly gaining traction. If banks do not modernize their legacy services, competitors will close the gap. And then we got right here, VolPay supports all major cross-border payment networks. Ripple right there. We view Volante as a critical partner for building Ripple's new real-time data-rich payments network. And then, all right, well, that's Ripple. Do they use XRP? Bam, right here from the horse's mouth. Volante's platform can be used to settle through XRP via our Ripple connection. We can't wait to get more banks on board. This was in June of 2020. This has been cooking up for a long time, guys, and we're so close to the finish line. We have less than a year for FedNow to go live. We have Project Ion already live, and then we have the digital dollar project now going into its testing and piloting phase in October 2023. You know, the next 3 to 6 months are going to be crazy, and by this time next year, we're not even going to recognize the world and where we're at in it. But I have a feeling we're going to be sitting nicely by that time. So all these initiatives are coming to play. The U.S. has been activated. XRP has a market cap of $16 billion. At 32 cents, you can get 3 for $1. You have all this money in the world that's going to get ready to be pushed through XRP and Ripple and tokenized on top of the XRP ledger. And then you have XRP as the new digital world's global reserve currency that can be used to facilitate as a bridge mechanism to transfer any asset to another asset. And they're tied up with so many countries, so many governments, so many central banks across the world, and now the US is finally warming up to them. So that's it for the newsletter. Huge stuff. I think we all deserve a drink today after this one. So that's going to be it, and I'll see you in the market update.